DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, the old up, down, left, and right, and trying to match, the buttons in a rhythmic timing matter, okay? There's a lot of DDR games out there for you to try. Space Channel 5, Persona Dancing in the Whatevers, and Kinetic Star Wars? But what if I told you about a rapping dog who is trying to impress a girl in 6 different jam-packed musical stages for you to try? Fellows, let me introduce you to Parappa the Rapper. Now, I do have a bit of history, well, quite a bit of history, with PTR. And it all started back in the day with my mom shopping, at a local Best Buy, and I had noticed, a PS4, on a whole demo showcase. And, the game at the time was Parappa the Rapper. And at first, I actually hated that game, like, a lot. Until I started actually playing it a bit more, to the point where I realized, oh snap, I'm supposed to let the master go first, and then I start pressing my inputs, not the other way around. And after that, I really did love the game. I even 100%ed it on the OG PlayStation, the PSP, and whenever I got it for my PS4, when I finally got my PS4, I 100%ed it too, because I got that game, along with another game, except that game was pretty dumpster fire, but we don't really talk about that game. With that being said, let's jump into this, this pretty fat, straight up, tubular, totally, just
Hold
on one second.
Go, like.
Gelatin.
Hi, this is the 90s. Just wanting our comebacks back, if that's at all possible in this 00 age.
With that being said, let's get into the game, shall we?
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's fine. Hey, bro, you're still on the phone call. You're still on the phone call. You didn't hang up the thing. Like, you're really just gonna leave me on like that? Bro, I literally specifically asked. It's not even a hard ask. Like,
Gotcha. Okay, let's actually get into the game.
So we start up the game and...
You gotta do what? I gotta believe.
Indeed, a certified banger of a title screen. The game's premise is about a dog named Parappa, who is trying to get the girl of his dreams, Sunny Funny, by going through 6 different musically challenged stages in order to impress her. The way the game works is that the master raps first, then it's you, and rinse repeat. If you don't keep within the beat, you'll go from good to bad to awful, and then you'll have to repeat the stage again.
Again.
What? I thought I actually had that one.
If you complete a stage on good, you'll have the chance to go back to said stage to try to get into the you rapping cool meter. The way to do this is by feeling the rhythm of your own beat, or in stage 1 and 6's case, just spamming the same button.
Man, you so
I didn't even try. I literally just pressing a button. Alright, we'll try this. Watch a true display of skill. Right, you got it. Now take it away.
Once you're in the cool mode, you can freestyle your own beats, but make sure you're keeping it within, the teacher's repertoire, because if they don't like your funk, then you'll get sent back to the good mode gulag. Now that you got the gameplay heads up, let's talk about the game's highs and its lows. The game's story, let's just say they really play into it, into this whole nonsensical story. It literally goes like this. You want to learn how to fight so you can defend Sunny. So you go to an onion sensei named Chop Chop Master Onion and get taught the ways of Funk Fu, Wah Wah Woo, and tell him to step back. Then while riding in a car with the self-absorbed Joe Chin, Parappa realizes that he needs to get a driver's license too, so he can, drive his friends and her around. So he goes to a very strict moose instructor named Instructor Mussolini and gets taught how to drive. After getting his license, Parappa takes his friends for a ride, and while daydreaming gets into a car crash that literally totaled his dad's car. So in order for him to, not have his dad bite him, figuratively speaking, he goes to a flea shop and gets taught the ways of hustling products by a frog salesman named Prince Flea Swallow. After gaining enough money to pay off the damages for your dad's car, Parappa then goes to get a cake for Sonny Funny, but he accidentally drops the cake, and now that he's, low on funds, needs to go cheap, a little cheaper, and conveniently stumbles upon a TV show that'll help him, make a cake with the chicken chef named Cheap Cheap the Cooking Chicken. More on her later, and don't honestly ask me why Parappa couldn't just, walk back into the store, use his receipt to get a refund or literally another cake, since the accident, again, happened right in front of the store's doors. But this isn't logical, the rapper, so gotta do what we gotta do. Whoa. Then after eating all the cake, you gotta take a dump. I'm not kidding you when I say this. You have to take a dump. Boo-boo. Alright? And you gotta rap against all of your original masters to gain access to the only bathroom in this gas station so you don't boo-boo or tinkle, or worse, boo-boo and tinkle on yourself. And to conclude this game, you get an invitation to rap in front of your friends at a club and impress Sonny Funny, Save the Town, and Mr. Krabs. So yeah, the story is very odd, which is the biggest understatement of the century, but I mean, I at least know that the writers were having a lot of fun while, writing this whole thing out. And that's kind of the beauty of it, that, it doesn't take itself, seriously. It's not really meant to be taken seriously, which I can appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, it's just paper-thin characters doing paper-thin things. Speaking of that whole paper-thin thing, not to really push on my glasses, but if you were wondering what the name Parappa meant in Japanese, a quick Google search back in the day told me it meant paper-thin, which is pretty fitting for the whole paper-thin theme going on here. I love the stage songs, as they really fit the vibe on what's going on. From Flea Swallow's more slower rhythms, to Mussolini's piano high-key notes. It'll really keep you hyped and entertained. Even when failing the music, it still sounds good and really gives you that, hey man, you better get back into the good, bruh, type of beat.
Whatever trouble he's in, he just gets up and begins. It ain't no problem for the man.
But I would do it like that because I want it like that. No other
Difference in the fact.
I gotta believe.
Yeah.
I gotta believe.
And not only does the music change, but the characters and the stage as well. Like Chop Chop Master Onion looking more annoyed, Stage 2 having the cars swerve in both driving lanes, etc, etc. This is a bit minor, but in the original version of Parappa the Rapper, the PS1 version, there wasn't a pause menu. So if you paused the game, you literally had to retry the whole level again, which I don't really need to tell you how stupid and dumb that sounds. Thankfully, when the PSP version released, it also came onto the PS4's version too. So now when your parents, yell for your name, just to pick up a remote, at least you can get the comfortability in your head that the game can finally now be paused, and when you come back to it, you can replay from the position that you paused it at, like every video game that's ever existed since the 80s. I like the see and feel the beat options, as see the beat lets Parappa's icon shake when you press a button, so you can better your timing, and feel the beat will make your controller shake for every press you take, So if you want some true head-on spot-on accuracy, then I definitely recommend turning these two new features on. Yes, new features on if you're struggling on some stages. The game has quite a bit of hidden secrets while playing. From signs switching up in the background to even seeing the next instructor, as long as you hold up on the D-pad, you'll see all of the secrets that you need to. Even the loading screen has a good beat. Listen. And lastly, I've learned this in middle school while watching Cat Icarus, a little shout out, that if you hold the left or the right on the D-pad, Parappa gets stuck on whatever phrase he said last, leading to moments like these.
Here we go. Gotta do is apply the fun touches.
All we gotta do is lie final touch.
Whoa. Now this one's kind of interesting because you actually kind of have to play it straight. You can kind of cheese, but you kind of have to play it straight. If you don't, and you try to just straight cheese, you will get immediately slapped back. I think it's when the game detects, okay, maybe not as much cheese. I think it's because there's a lot of spamming triangle and circles, why it's kind of like finicky on it. But see, that would be for everybody else's case. See, like, I'm weird, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's not gonna work for me. That's like I said, it's just a problem for everybody else. Weird people like me.
Okay, a quick editor's note just to kind of like slip this one in here, but it wasn't until I was replaying the game and looking through the manual or whatever that the D-pad holding it left or right on the D-pad actually is recommended by the game. Like the game literally encourages you to do that. I didn't know that. Originally I just thought it was like some hidden bug or whatever, but it is recommended, so use that cheese with that cheese see fit. Man, this game is great. Despite it only being 6 stages, they really made them fun, enjoyable, and worthwhile for hours and hours. While additionally, they added more songs on the side too for the PSP and the PS4 version. I can't recommend Parappa the Rapper enough. Even though the genre wasn't really that crazy back in '96, it still has kept fans appealed, even to this day. But still, despite all of this, there's just a few things while replaying this game that kinda irked me while, playing this childhood game again. My starting issue is the practice mode. Aside from hearing the most ear-piercing voice from Katy Cat saying,
Exactly!
the game's timing in this mode is kinda off. So at first you think, oh, I gotta hit it at the exact time that my character icon is overlapping the button I should press. But no, that's way too logical. Too logical, right? Instead, you have to delay your button press by a second and a half for it to count. I only mention this because in a rhythm-based game, you don't want to teach people to delay your button inputs because that's, kind of dumb and straight up villainous. Not to mention, but in my gameplay, in most gameplays, there's usually a metronome that lets you, know the BPM or the beats per minute of the track, like a little keep in time. But since there's no beat to listen to, you're just gonna have to randomly time an input with no sound to help you out in this rhythm-based game.
Okay. I know this looks kind of weird on my stinking, phone. But, okay. So, right now, I currently got, my mic audio and my video game capture for the console, all right? You see the game. All right. Now, I'm going to click practice, all right? And she's going to say her thing. And on the TV, I can hear it, right? On the TV, I can hear it. But for me, without it, this is all I hear. Hold on, let's see if we can, turn on my audio real fast. All I hear is this. You don't believe me? Well, watch this.
Do you want to try it again? Push the circle button.
You hear that? Like I can still hear what's going on in the game. You see, I can hear what's currently going on in the game right now. You know, you hear all that. But then once you click practice mode, and I muted my TV, well, listen. Like, what kind of timing is that? That's not supposed to happen. Listen, I'm supposed to hear this beat. I'm supposed to hear this. But like when you're like video game capture carding, it doesn't do that through the headphones. So you're sitting there like, bro, what on earth is going on with my stinking TV? Like, that's just so dumb.
Thankfully, it was just a bug. But even with the beat, it is still annoying at times because since there's, again, a delay when you press the triangle button, the game won't register it when it passes by. So you'll constantly be in this endless loop of missed inputs. So what you gotta do is just pretty much spam the triangle and you'll get it. Be warned though, as though Katie's icon is smooth when she presses it, right, whenever her icon goes, for some reason, Parappa's icon is kind of choppy. So again, that's what I mean about that you gotta delay your button presses, because his icon's kind of choppy, so the window's kind of weird on when you have to press the button at the right time. Because if you press it a little bit too early, you know, because that's most likely what's gonna happen, you'll always be too quick, which is also kind of the story of my life. Speaking of things that's kind of dumb, why on earth is there an easy mode for this game? Made even dumber since it only goes up to the 3rd stage before saying, hey little bro, play that thing normal like a real G. Like that's not necessarily it's not necessarily a hard game, right? So why do it at all? I mean, for Pete's sake, the game basically insults you to your face by saying it's for, and I quote, for younger kids and the rhythmically challenged if you need to put this thing on easy mode. Another thing to note is that the game has some add-on tracks for the PSP, and while I think it's pretty neat that they came up with different beats to these stage songs, trying to play them can be a whole different thing, because the way Parappa and the Masters sing their songs, they didn't re-sing their parts, so the beat sounds extremely off. Well, I don't hear a difference. I think you're just being nitpicky for the sake of nitpicky to over-dramatize and stretch out this video.
Here we go.
That's a half-truth, as I kind of had a writer's block and then remembered that this game existed and realized that I fully completed all the versions of this series, so I could easily slam my quota of bringing a review, but had to come to the realization that it's not an RPG, but since it's my channel, I kind of really just went with it anyways, because again, it is my channel at the end of the day. And 2, let me just give you a visual example, like a straight up example on what I mean about this whole offbeatiness.
Punch, it's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
So sad.
Punch, it's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
You see what I mean? Again, I do think it was a good idea, but if you're not going to sing over it, then why even bother? Also, they didn't even make the last stage of the game, have a new musical overlay. Like, why? It's literally the last stage of the game. That's so stupid. A side mention I'd like to point out, for the tracks, right? They gave Chop Chop Master Onion like 4 tracks, right? A, B, C, and D. However, for all the other stages, they were only just given only 1 new track. A minor point that I have to mention, just like the Solar Flare and Kakarot, holding the D-pad and, you know, repeating the same dialogue is extremely broken, straight up cheesy, especially on cool mode, because I don't think the game intended for you to do this, since in some stages, like every stage outside of stage 3, you don't need to make your own rhythms. Why come up with a different beat of a rhythm of the beat when you can just hold the right on the D-pad and just spam triangle, you know, all the way through the entire song? I promise you, you can do that. I only mentioned stage 3 though, just only stage 3, you know, Prince Fleaswallow, because you can't really get away with that sort of cheese, as the game kind of has a detection that, yeah, you can't just be spamming the same button. It's just so weird that stage 3 is the only one where you can't really like spam the same. I mean, you can, I put in quotations, but you kind of have to like change up your beat a bit to actually get it through. So again, it's just weird that stage 3 is the only one that you can't really get that away with, whereas every other stage will let you get away with it scot-free. Speaking of the cool cheese, this might just be a minor bug, but on stage 6, when Parappa, does the whole somebody say ho, now scream, you can literally just spam whatever buttons, or just walk away, and you'll get the cool finish anyways. Despite it telling you that you'll go back into good mode around this part, you'll still stay in cool regardless of if you do or do not do anything, which I don't think that's how that should be. Another minor mention I have is that all the buttons in the menus are set. What I mean by this is that I can't just press circle and leave unless I manually go over to the exit button and then press the circle button. Even if it's something like stage select, you can't just press circle. You still have to go over, highlight the exit button, and then leave. I know it's pretty minor, I know it's like an extremely little tiny minute nitpick, but I still don't like it at all. Just to kind of squeeze this, just a little bit of just one more minor mention, I promise. But the game has a visual bug on stage 5, where if you go into the you rapping bad territory, the rain will glitch out and not be fully shown. Even when I left the game and came back into the game, this glitch still occurred. This doesn't happen in the PSP version or the PS1 version. I think this is only exclusive to the PS4 version for some unknown reason. Alright, and now my last, final complaint I have for this game is this. So, up to this point, a lot of the stages have been pretty fun. Challenging at first, yes, but fun nonetheless, and felt really awesome to play. Hopefully there's just no infamous stages whatsoever that really need to be discussed.
Don't worry, I did everyone here a favor. Behold, now we don't have to deal with that debacle anymore. Wait, what do you mean this is the wrong chicken?
Get to the moon! And back! And then to the shops. And maybe to the back.
Cheap, you may not have time for people, but you surely did love making me and a load of people online extremely frustrated with this part of the game. Yes, be it as it may, this game does have one massively hated stage, and that's Cheap the cooking chicken. Now, Google's stupid AI feature will tell you that she's a he, but listen here, see, bars! When you first enter the stage, she'll tell you to, crack the egg into the bowl. And so, you'll crack the egg into the bowl. But then, you'll go into the bad highlight. Like, it'll start highlighting in the you rapping bad category. So then, you just keep going at it. And you'll go from bad to awful to try again? And it makes you wonder, who really play tested this stage? Because this isn't even a PS4 thing, it's a game thing. This happened in the PS1, the OG, the stinking PSP. It happened in all the versions. And it's never been fixed.
Never.
Dude, this stage had both me and my sister collectively work together in order to defeat it. Game. Parappa, Masaya Matsuura, NanaOn-Sha, whoever I'm talking to, okay? If you ever, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and literally make me and my sibling, literally, again, work together to stop a common enemy, that being you, then you have truly deserved a special place of destruction for what it literally is going to ever happen, bro. The only way to get past this stage is by delaying your button presses slightly after seeing your icon pass. See the beat makes this loads easier so you can get your delayed timing right, and feel the beat can go feel my booty cheeks, because it's not a feel thing anymore, it's a seeing thing. It's not the hearing is the problem, it's the timing. Also, pause. That's my boy, that's my big boy. You were awesome! Hey, seafood cake is okay, but you should try my new cheap cherry cake for only $19.95. Yeah, I'll think about
I'll
it.
think about it.
And I know someone's gonna say, well, it looks like the whole delay timing thing in the practice mode really helped you, eh? And I say, yeah, for that one stage. If someone knew that there was a timing delay and didn't tell the devs, hey, there's a bug in stage 4, you should fix that. That's a problem on them. Why would they do that for this port? I mean, remaster. Why would they do that for the remaster? Not a port, a remaster. Oh, you're confused? Port over? Yes, this game is essentially, literally just a port over that claims to be a PS4 remaster in 4K. Yeah, my behind, it's a PS4 remaster in 4K. The game's credits outright tell you it's just a PSP port over, which wouldn't be a bad thing if they just said so. I know it's the whole, well, what more can you really do graphically with this game, but I'm saying that they could have just went back and at least checked for more bugs before re-releasing it again, you know? They could have, they could have done it at any point, but I think by now it's already too late. And while yes, they finally did add a pause button, I only wish that they added some more stuff for the end game, because when you complete all the stages on cool mode, you'll get a secret stage, which is basically just Sunny Funny and Katy Cat dancing on this podium for like 3 minutes. And while you can change the camera angles and they're like 3 outfits, this is the same ending as the first game, which is pretty lame for, again, a remaster. This is all you can do for however many minutes is just, oh look, I can change their outfits. Oh my goodness, look, I can change Katy Cat's and Sunny Funny's outfits. Oh my goodness, look at that. The birthday cake without, what was that? Birthday cake without me is like having a no. A birthday party without cake is having a dance floor without me. Like, bro, it does not. What are you talking about? It's stupid. So yeah, this is really all you do. You don't even get like a bunch of outfits. You just get like, wait, like a regular fit. This like, I don't even know what this is. Then it's like some like, I guess tour around Italy type town, and then back to like her jazz quartet. And then Sonny's like this stupid flowered thing. Then we got like this Samba de Amigo type mess. And then we got flowers on flowers, which is kind of weird because she is a flower. That'd be like me having a bunch of human faces on like my shirt, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And it's not even rewarding. Ooh, look, I can change to 3 outfits while I look at Control-C, Control-V characters, and I'm limited to only a few minutes, and then forcefully have to get backed out while watching these 2 individuals do some pretty poor dance moves. Like, really, game? That's how we're gonna end this? It's just, on that note, it's kind of odd and sour. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get into the summary of the game. So to summarize this whole thing, Parappa the Rapper is a music-based rhythm game that stars a talking dog named, well, Parappa, who is trying to get the girl by going through 6 DDR-based stages. The game is really awesome, with each stage expressing each teacher's song to the max, hidden details and secrets, and even when failing the stage, the music still sounds so good. However, I can't go on without telling you that the game does have a few short sights, a little missteps. From the D-pad being really broken, to a few sound and visual bugs, along with the infamous Stage 4, it'll make you kind of scratch your head sometimes. But aside from those minor issues, it's an overall recommendation from me, the SwaggView, honestly. And so from my final rating for this whole entire game is a I gotta believe out of 10. So Scribble, thank you all so much for watching, as I really did have a blast while replaying this game and finally getting to tell someone about it. Now I know I'm gonna get that comment that says, it's not within my niche, but I really do love DDRs, along with fighting games and platformers mostly. So if you have any of those sort of recommendations, I'll also review them too. And if you want to see one, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and if you want more content from me that's a little more fan-made, then I definitely head over to my new second channel called SwaggKid, where I'll be reviewing over mod-related stuff, like Minecraft, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, etc., and the like. With that being said, this is SwaggWordy7, gotta doing what? Redeem, relieve, receive, and believe. Making another channel too, saying to beware and take care.
Just to please this girl that is my father. And I really do believe this is where we should be. Just keep your eyes up on the prize. You and I, if we try.